Today I'm going to give you my top 5 MIUI 6 features. So here I have the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G LTE. This phone shipped with MIUI 5 out of the box. However, Xiaomi has just recently released the developer ROM with MIUI 6. This developer ROM is updated with new features and fixes weekly, every Friday. It isn't 100% stable, and there are a few bugs here and there, but it is overall pretty good. Many of the changes in MIUI 6 are focused on improving the overall look and feel. Almost everything receives a fresh coat of paint, making the UI look much nicer. If you'd like to download the MIUI 6 preview ROM, I'll leave a link in the description. Xiaomi is currently finalizing the update, so a stable release shouldn't be too far off. I should mention that updating from the stable release to the developer release will not affect your data, but you will be unable to downgrade to the stable release without performing a data wipe. If you do want to install the developer ROM, please make sure that you are aware of this. Also, they only have the preview ROM available for the 4G LTE Snapdragon 400 model. If you have the 3G MTK6592 model, you're sadly out of luck. So without any further ado, here are my top 5 MIUI 6 features. Coming in at number 1 is the redesigned user interface. The notification pane has been redesigned to have a Gaussian blur applied in the background which reflects whatever app or screen is behind the panel. It looks a lot like iOS, but cool nonetheless. You can now just swipe between the notification list and quick settings. The quick settings have not changed, but there is no longer an option to reorganize the items. That's kind of disappointing, and hopefully Xiaomi will bring this feature back in a future version. Keep in mind that this is still beta software, but Xiaomi is working very hard to finalize it. The Settings app has been completely redesigned with new toggles and a new method of organization. It feels a little overwhelming with all of these settings shown on one screen at the moment, so hopefully they can clean this up a little bit. I really like the look though, it just needs some organization. The recent app switcher still shows the icon view like MIUI 5, but now offers a new card view. This, again, looks a lot like iOS. To switch between the views, you just pinch in and pinch out. I prefer the card view personally, because it's just like the icon view, but lets me see the app screens when I'm locking or closing. The power menu has also changed with some really nice animations and design. You can quickly take the device into airplane mode, change the volume, reboot, and power off. There's also quite a few new animations throughout the UI. I think they look really nice and overall add to the experience. Moving on, my second top feature in MIUI 6 is the new lock screen. Instead of having a circle to drag around, Xiaomi has greatly simplified the lock screen. You can now just swipe up to unlock, rather than having to pull down on the circle. There isn't an option to add lock screen widgets, but that functionality can be restored using a third-party lock screen app. You can swipe left for quick access to the camera, which is very similar to the gesture found in Android Lollipop. What really makes the lock screen unique is how it displays the unread notification count. You can tap this number to view your notifications as you usually would with the notification panel. I think this is really nice to see, and I'm not saying that they copied this directly from iOS, because Google themselves added it to the next version of Android, just in a slightly different fashion. Coming in at number 3 is what Xiaomi calls floating notifications. It's very similar to Android Lollipop's heads-up notifications, so it basically gives you a visual indication when you receive a new notification, including phone calls. This is really nice when just casually using the phone and receiving a phone call, because it doesn't block the whole screen. I really like this new feature, and it's really cool that Xiaomi chose to make this work for all notifications, rather than just phone calls. At number 4, we have the new one-handed operation feature. It's really simple to activate. You just swipe from the menu to home, or from the back to home, depending on whether you're left-handed or right-handed. While it may not be as useful on devices like the Mi 3 and Mi 4, which are only 5 inches, it is very nice to have this added to the Redmi Note 4G, which has a 5.5-inch display. This is really nice to see, and I'm glad that Xiaomi isn't just blatantly copying iOS's implementation. Finally, my 5th top feature in MIUI 6 is all of Xiaomi's redesigned apps. Okay, so I know this may not be a new feature, but the changes made to the system apps are major. Every app has a new look and a new icon to better match the new design language. I'm going to quickly go through most of the system apps that were redesigned. The browser has been updated with a much more simple look that is similar to the stock app. There aren't any huge changes, but an update nonetheless. The calculator has been redesigned with flatter and more modern looking buttons. There's also now an option to switch to the scientific calculator with a tap of a button, which I found pretty helpful. The calendar has also been redesigned and looks a heck of a lot like iOS. It does allow you to switch between month, week, and day views, as well as show you the weather forecast for 5 days in advance. Very cool. The camera app has also been dramatically overhauled in this update. The buttons have been redesigned and changed to circles surrounded by thin borders. Xiaomi offers quick access to several different modes, including panorama and HDR. There's also a total of 12 real-time filters available to apply in the stock app. The clock app got a really nice update, and everything looks very clean and modern. Much like the stock app, you can swipe between tabs, but Xiaomi's design is much nicer. You can view the clocks from all over the world and even have an analog clock displayed under the clock tab. Oh yeah, and the clock itself is also animated, which is very cool. There seems to be quite a bit of interest in the Compass app. The update makes the app look great, everything matches Xiaomi's design language. It's also pretty accurate. Xiaomi has also redesigned the FM radio app. There's an option to add new stations to a station list. You can also easily switch stations. The Mail app has also a fresh new design and looks much cleaner. It's very similar to the iOS app where you can swipe right or left to mark read or unread, or to delete or star the message. Xiaomi also added the option to add formatted and colored text to message composition in last week's update. The Mail app is a great alternative to the new Gmail app with an arguably better design. The Messages app now looks much better, with green and white chat bubbles. There really aren't any new features, but the redesign looks great. They also simplified the Mi Account app along with the new Mi Cloud app. The Dialer app also received a very nice refresh highlighting the new design language. The dial pad looks great and the in-call volume has also been simplified. Although it isn't a new app, the Search app is now accessible by swiping up on the home screen. The Themes app, although mostly in Chinese, now allows users to select specific user interface changes, such as icons and ringtones. It even lets you change things like the boot animation, which is very cool. I did skip some of the smaller apps that I didn't think were worth mentioning. All of the media apps, including Gallery, Games, Music, and Video, have seen refreshes, but nothing too major. Alright guys, so that's my top 5. Let me know in the comments below what you think of MIUI 6. And if you like this video and would like to see me do more of these top 5 or top 10 videos, please give the video a thumbs up. That is going to be all for this video. Thank you for watching and please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on weekly videos like this one.